Good morning, brothers and sisters. Why don't you come and join me for a few moments here in Jerusalem? Boy, oh boy, I am seriously humbled this morning before the Lord. I would have to say yesterday was the most intense day I've had with Jesus. So much happened to me yesterday, guys. It's not funny. I received a gigantic kick in the ass from the Lord about one of my afflictions. And I'm not going to go into detail because there's some things that are just too personal. But I received a monumental kick in the ass yesterday from the Lord. But He's not about punishing you. That's one thing I'm noticing with the Lord. I'm fighting tears today, guys. It's just He's just reducing me to rubble some days. I think I need my sunglasses, even though it's cloudy. I think the seasons have snapped here. They've definitely snapped. It's nice and cool here. But anyway, He's just reducing me. He's just reducing me to just this humble man, you know. And it's amazing. So I had an encounter yesterday. Definitely, I had an encounter with a demon who tried to take advantage of one of my afflictions, but the end result was the glory of the Lord has prevailed, and now I've been seeking understanding from the Lord as to why this affliction matters in my walk with He. And He's now made that very clear to me, very clear to me as to why this affliction is important. So there's two. There's one monumental one that I haven't really spoken about yet. But if you want to know about this affliction, I'm not going to announce it on YouTube just yet. But if you seriously want to know, just go to my Instagram. It's the same nick as here. And just go back. It's a completely open account. You can access it. You can comment whatever you like. And just go back to some photos that date more than, say, 12, 18 months, and you will soon see the affliction that I'm talking about and the sin I used to be engaged in. Oh, so praise be to Jesus, man. I'm seriously humbled this morning. Enoch, Genesis 5, I'm going to go inside. I haven't touched Enoch, I must confess, since I did that video yesterday, because there's just so much new information swirling around. It's not funny. I've just been inside at the gym, and I've just seen, on the TVs, I've just seen one thing after another. Just on the TVs. I've seen the Prime Minister do a Masonic hand sign. I've seen the Queensland Premier do a Masonic hand sign. I saw there's some woman that's died in Sydney, some young girl who's died, a woman, of course, who's died, and it's a woman. They get maximum coverage, of course, because we're in Australia just getting women rammed down our throats here. And this woman died, a young woman, and she's been described as a bright shining light. It's just, and while the reporter did that big pyramid one, the big pyramid one. And then I saw that Mark Beretta, I'm sorry I can't get the photos up for these, because I just saw him on TV, you know. I can't just take photos of everything while I'm at the gym. I'm there to work out, and I look like an idiot, you know, and they don't come out properly. And by the time you do the photo, they've stopped doing the hand sign. So, but just, I think you all know, those who'd follow my channel, who've got an interest in my journey and my subs, I think you know by now that what I'm saying is legit. I've been backing it up, and as I always say, I've got no hidden agenda. I come without prejudice. All I seek is truth. And when I spoke to Jesus this morning, when I prayed to Jesus this morning about just discernment, a few things, and some more wisdom on a few things, just prayed for just some more understanding about a few things about where my journey with the Lord is going. I said this when I prayed to him this morning. I said, Lord, you know me, you created me, and you know what you've unleashed here in the last couple of months. And whatever the truth is, it won't change. So no matter whether I accept it, whether I receive it, whether others receive it or not, it makes no difference. Whether I find it, it doesn't matter. Well, that does matter, but to me it does, and I think it does to the Lord, but it doesn't. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't change. The truth doesn't change. It's an immovable object, and that's all I seek. And you know on my channel that's all I'm after. I saw that Mark Beretta. It was really, really interesting. It was really interesting what I saw with Mark Beretta. So he's like is there some sort of women's thing going on in Australia today? Because there's a lot of women on the desks. Dual newsreaders, they're there. Like, I really wish at times I could do these hand signs so I could show you the ones I'm talking about, but I'm not going to do them because then people will think I'm one of them. The last thing I want is people thinking I'm one of them. I mean, are you joking? Like, seriously? I'm going to make a name for myself in the world and become rich in the world by screwing others either, lying to others and taking from them what's theirs. No, I'm not about that. But anyway, this Mark Beretta guy, he did the same one actually as Charles Lawson. The one where I'll do it down here so I can describe it. So the one where the Carter Conlon one, and the Hitler Truck one, where they get their fingers out, they extend their fingers and they join them all as a triangle, and they get their two thumbs. So they bring their two thumbs to the front of the pyramid, and then they lift up. Well, he was doing that, and then he just looked at aside. So he's looking at somebody from the camera crew, I'd say, and he lifted the thumbs like Charles Lawson did. That's significant. That's significant when they lift their thumbs and then they thrust the thumbs forward. That's big. That's a big one because they all seem to go, whoa, when they're asked to do it. So Charles Lawson, when he do it, he was like he just didn't want to do it. And Mark Beretta, his reaction was, really? You want me to do that? And he did it, and he sort of sat back and smiled. I thought, my, what is going on here? So I've really been searching for some discernment, guys, from the Lord about all these things. So I don't just come onto YouTube and just say these things. I always pray on them first. And then I come onto YouTube and I just try to spread the glory of Jesus through me, through what he's doing to me. Go and have a look at my Instagram. Go and have a look at who I used to be, guys. Like, my story, my testimony, my witness to the Lord, it's real, guys. It's real, man. It's real. And I pray for discernment this morning. And as I sit here this morning, guys, I am being led of the opinion, thinking that I am in the elect and one of the 144,000. I'm not going to run around saying this to people because they're going to think I think I'm a J-dub, and that's part of this religious agenda, isn't it? The Jehovah's Witness Church was probably set up for these end times to make people like me sound like a raving lunatic. But it's all there. I've been saved. I've always had God in my heart. I grew up in a Christian church. I'm Aboriginal, and Dad's a man of God. Dad's a real man of God. Like, Dad is so important to God. I just know it in my heart. And I'm Aboriginal, and then I'm led to the Old Testament. I read all about the 12 tribes of Israel, and I find out about the tribe of Reuben being Aboriginal black people. And I tell you what, there's not 12,000 people here in the tribe of Reuben here in Australia who are part of the elect. I can tell you that, because people aren't interested in the truth. They don't want to know. How often do you hear that? I don't want to know. And that's fine. You don't want to know, that's cool. You don't want to know, you won't know. And then when you're before the Almighty, before Jesus, before the Lord, that'll be all you got to say is, I don't want to know. And I'm going to stand before the Lord and I'm going to go, Lord, please judge me. Please tell me where I've erred. Please make my heart and my spirit pure. That's all I want. See, if you don't want to know, You don't want to know. And that's fine. I do want to know. And I tell you what, if you're going to be around me, you're going to bloody well know. But anyway, I just think like I could be one of the 144,000. It's all pointing towards it. The virgin thing. I mean, I think that's a fleshy thing. That's of the flesh. Because the Lord doesn't care. The Lord doesn't care if you've had sex or not. He doesn't care. All the Lord cares about is that you repent, you believe the gospel, and you love your neighbour. And you do good works. These are the things the Lord cares about. So as I'm here this morning, guys, because everywhere I look, there's a lady walking past me now. She's got a Time Zone shirt on, and it's got a yellow circle on it, and it looks like it's that snake that's eating its tail. It's everywhere. Everything I see now. There's a photo just over there. I'll take a photo of it and superimpose it on this video. There's a photo here of a little kid, and it's doing this big hand sign like a triangle, and it's got its fingers, and it's all painted all the colours of the rainbow. And of course they've corrupted the rainbow. You know, the Lord's covenant to Noah. Of course they've corrupted that too. So guys, I'm full of humility this morning in the Lord, but also conversely, I am full of fire. I am absolutely full of fire. I feel like I'm all dressed up and nowhere to go. And I said that to the Lord this morning. But you've got to look back, don't you? And this is what I said in my video. I did a video about a month ago where I said, what's coming for me, guys? And I've also said in previous videos, you've got to look back at what you prayed about. You've got to look back, and you don't pray about, oh, why is that lady with the curtains being so nasty to me, and why won't she refund my bond? No. You don't pray about that. Well, you do pray about that, and you ask the Lord, and you go, well, why is this happening, Lord? Help me understand while you're showing me this lesson. And for me, the lessons about these curtains so far, it was for me dealing with my anger, dealing with how I react with things, teaching me the concept that through, if you see through outrage, truth will emerge. So now that I'm not outraged about the curtains, when we have the next round in that little tribunal they've got set up that they keep adjourning, I will handle myself better, and I will come representing the Lord, and I won't get angry, you know. He's just taught me so much. Love thy neighbour. Love thy neighbour. You know, it's not about you, Brett. And Brett, let go of money. You know, well, how many lessons is that? 5. Now, I could have gone, Lord, why? Make her stop picking on me. And then when she doesn't stop picking on me, and when I don't get my money back, because that's not what the Lord's trying to show me, and that's not what the gospel says, I will turn my back from the Lord. But no. So I'm full of fire this morning, guys. 144,000 from the 12 tribes in the end of days. I know we've all been grafted in. I know. It's all about Jesus and anybody. I know. But the scriptures back up. The scriptures back up that the 12 tribes will have a special place with the Lord in the end times. It's all there. And logic tells me that all of that stuff that went down in the Old Testament wasn't for nothing. They are God's people. We're all God's people in the gospel. I know. But there's 2 olive trees, isn't there? There's 2 olive trees. One for the 12 tribes. Well, I might be getting that wrong. But the olive tree, you can be grafted in. They can be from the wild seed, or they can be from God's people. I'm probably getting the terminology and everything wrong, but I hope you pick it up what I'm trying to put down here about being grafted in, and the Gentiles and the Jews. We're all one body. And I don't claim to be anyone special because I'm in the 12 tribes. No. I don't think that. I'm not superior. It's not that. All I'm saying is that the scriptures say that the stuff about the 12 tribes in the end of days. So my calling's becoming clearer. It's still not clear. My calling's becoming clearer. Genesis 5 is starting to clear. The meaning of life is starting to clear. Why we were created, that's starting to clear. I'm going to do different videos on this stuff. Because if I put all down what I'm thinking this morning, this video will go for hours. So I might even go down the park today, I think, but it's raining. I don't know. But I've got ideas coming out of my ears, out of my, I'm just overflowing this morning in the Lord, guys. Absolutely overflowing with the Lord. And when I prayed this morning, I just said to the Lord, I just said, keep it coming, you know. So I'm asking for it. But I did ask him for some wisdom and some understanding about my calling, because I would like to know. And this is how he could be talking to me through the 144,000, because this is how it happened. When I sinned yesterday, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it because the Lord showed me, and the Lord gave me a gigantic kick in the ass, and I repented. Big time. I was almost in tears this morning when I prayed, guys. Almost in tears, because just how he's leading me, how he's guiding me, and just showing me how important I am to him. It's an amazing ride, it's an amazing ride. And this is how it happened. After it all blew up yesterday, and there appears to be no consequence. There's a little consequence, and it's about money, but that's okay. That's okay. It's like he's just teaching me more about money, and I don't care. I don't care about what happened now. I've learnt the lesson from the Lord. I've repented, and me and the Lord are walking forward now, brother, with brothers and sisters, with this affliction that I've got. I may have just licked it, I think. Thanks. Oh, power be to Jesus. But just no desire no more. Power be to Jesus. But this is sort of how it went down. I was just sitting there reflecting, and I got my phone out. I thought, all right, just have a quick, scroll through YouTube. Oh, that's right. I was trying to upload those 2 videos I did there yesterday, and I had some trouble, so I had to take them down. So, sorry, Michael. That's probably why your comments disappeared there, mate. It was nothing about you or anyone else. It was just they uploaded wrong, and I had them out of sequence, and just a few things were wrong with them. So I thought I'll just take them down and do it again. But anyway, I was on YouTube, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all these videos come up about the 144,000. And I don't think I've spoken about it on YouTube. So I don't think it can be the algorithms. I don't know. But all of these videos come up, and there was this young fella, this 20-year-old guy who just put up his testimony about how he found Jesus. And he did it through Flat Earth too, and he did it through Freemasonry. And and he started talking about the 12 tribes and the 144,000, and I'm just sitting there going, So I prayed, and I asked for discernment, and I'll keep doing it. We're close, aren't we, guys? Like, we're seriously close. I feel it in my heart. I see it in that picture there of that girl. The girl that just walked past with the snake shirt. All of these Freemasons throwing out their hand signs this morning. The Michael Jackson thing. I mean, I was watching Jurassic Lives there yesterday. Michael Jackson. Wade Robson. The man and the son codes are just everywhere. That doctor was a Freemason. You can see that whole agenda is about normalising pedophilia, the same as George Pell. It's all about normalising pedophilia. You've had prominent people like here at Andrew Bolt and John Howard, and, they've come out supporting George Pell. And just to clarify, nothing happened with George Pell. The whole thing's a hoax. The whole thing's a psyop. The whole thing's just a Freemason circle jerk. I'm not saying they weren't victims. They were victims. I'm saying George Pell didn't do it. Well, if he did do it, he's not going to be held accountable. He's in Israel or Switzerland. But he didn't do it. There were victims of other Catholic priests. But they're just normalising it, because these people come out, they'll seem like fringe lunatics, just like the lefties did 20 years ago with gay marriage. And they're talking in great detail about Michael Jackson, aren't they? About what he did, and how the underpants were yellow, and how they took the underpants off in the spa bath. And it just takes you there, They take you there. And as they tell it, that creature, that housemaid creature, she's a Revelation 2:9er, from the synagogue of Satan. You just look at the head on it, And she's going into all this detail. And as Jurassic Liars said there yesterday, he said, well, sister, if you were so concerned at the time, why didn't you do anything? You know, the whole thing's a hoaxes, and they're just normalising it all. And you see in there the woman, the reporter, she's doing Masonic hand signs, and she's talking about this woman that got abducted, and she was a great beacon of light. You know, it just all adds up. It all adds up, and there's only one light. There was darkness upon the face of the deep. And the Lord's purging it. I'm the Lord's vessel. I put up an Instagram post there this morning saying, the Lord's here and he's eyeballing you right through the eyes of thee. Praise be to Jesus, guys. I hope you're all growing in the Lord. Michael, I hope you're hearing this. I hope you're hearing it to the end. I wept before the Lord yesterday, brother. I wept before the Lord yesterday when you told me you bought that Bible. Whoa. Open it. Open it to Matthew 1 and start there. Start there. And just remember, when Jesus talks, he's talking about the kingdom of heaven. He's not talking about trees. He's not talking about mustard seeds. He's talking about the kingdom of heaven. It's hard. It's hard. You know, I read the whole of the New Testament without spiritual eyes, and I got all the way to Nehemiah in the Old Testament before these spiritual eyes were activated. Be patient. Stay resilient. Want to read it. Have a thirst for the truth. Have a thirst for the truth, and pray. And pray. Pray as you're reading the Bible. You'll read things and you'll pray. And pray about it, because it's within these stories. It's the battle within, and it's the battle in the kingdom. You know, was it Ephesians 6:13? You know, what a chapter, Ephesians 6. Whoa. So welcome, Michael. Welcome to the body of Christ. You'll never look back. Praise be to Jesus, guys. I'm going inside to have my mocha served by the Freemasons, and I'm going to keep going with Enoch, and I'll probably come outside again in an hour's time, a blithering mess, because of the things I'm going to read in Enoch. It's a wonderful, wonderful time to be alive, and it's a marvelous time to be in the body of Christ, because things are happening. They are progressing at warp speed, and we are at the center of it. And we're at the center of it in the name of the Lord. Praise be to Jesus, man.
The sun has come. You've been left me